Assignment is 1 second. I'll turn on my camera. Yeah. So in the last session, I have given some assignment, that is, you have to make a report on like how you install the Windows 10 and Kali Linux machine in your systems. So how many of you completed that one? Yes. How many of you completed? Yeah, guys, I'm asking you, how many of you completed that task? No one. Please respond. I think you have the mic access, right? Hello, guys. Am I audible? So it's about Kali Linux. Navneet, where you have submitted that one? Windows installation, still waiting for that. Okay. So do you have some in Google Forms which was produced? Okay. So there you are shared. Okay, no issues. So whoever completed the form, like reporting, so just submit your report on the Google form. Previously, we have shared in the chat box or like WhatsApp. So as option, I didn't know about the task. I'll let you know after completing, but I have Mac. What should I do? Dhanraj, if you're having the Mac, you can install the UTM. Do you know UTM? So first install the UTM and then go to the kali.org. There you have to select the like Mac based Kali Linux and the Windows 10 which I have given to you. That is fine. That will be installed in UTM also. No issues for that one. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any doubts in the last session, like how to install the Windows 10? Anyone has facing any issues with Windows 10? Quick. So we have to respond very quickly, guys, so that we will move on to the next topic. We've not even completed the 2 modules. Please respond quickly. Anyone have any doubts? So if you are silent, I'll take it as you don't have any doubts, then I'll continue with the new topic. Could you please help me out in the network class? Yeah, okay, Navneet. So just try, and if you have any doubts, just share, send your screenshot in the chat box, like not chat box, and personally. So WhatsApp me, so I'll help you. Okay, so I'll start the session. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we are discussing the networking concepts, right? So in the networking, we have discussed what is the network and what is the networking. Okay, what is network? What is the difference between network and networking? So don't chat, please unmute yourself and directly you can talk to me. Hello, am I audible? No issues. Okay. So the basic difference between network and networking is network is a group of devices and networking is communication between those connected devices. Okay, so these things we have discussed and types of networks we have discussed LAN, WAN, MAN, PAN. These are the things we have discussed. And now we are going to the topologies. Does anyone have any idea about these topologies? Anyone? What do you mean by topology?
The way the devices are connected.
Yes, exactly. So it is a logical design of a devices. So we have already discussed like a network is nothing but a group of devices which are connected. So how these devices are connected? So in the topology, we have a different topologies are there. So the first topology is a peer-to-peer topology, that is a device to device. Suppose it is a device and this is a B device. Okay, suppose in an organization we have a lot of systems are there. If you want to transfer some file, is there some file, if you want to transfer one file, so you have to transfer a file from this system to this system only. So these two systems only interconnected. So if you want to transfer it with other systems, you have to make a new connection with this one. So suppose you want to transfer from A to B, so you can transfer. If you want to share other things, we have to connect it manually. Suppose it's another system and this is a D system. It is a C, it is a D. Only you can transfer between the two systems only. You cannot transfer more than two systems. You can only transfer A to B from C to D. If you want to transfer A to C, it's not possible. You have to remove this connection. You have to make a connection with A to C. So only one way. It's not a two way. So that is a main difference. That is a main disadvantage is this one. So you can only transfer only one system only. You can be transfer. This one is called peer-to-peer connection, or you can call end-to-end peer-to-peer communication, or you can call it as a end-to-end communication. End-to-end communication. Got it? So this is the first one. After this, so they have introduced the bus topology. Bus topology. So how this bus topology will look like this? It's a normal cable. Okay. So all the devices will be connected to this cable. So this is one device, and this is another device, device two. Okay. So I'll give the alphabetical order: B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. So if A wants to transfer, have submitted assignment previous one. Yeah, okay. See, if A wants to transfer some data, so there is a one data is a G asked A. So can you please send me a one file that is like related to the client's details or client's reports or whatever it is. So A wants to send the data to the G. So if A started sending the data, so B will know. So what's the data it is sharing? The B will know, C will know, E will know, D, everyone. So who are connected in the network, everyone will know that what is the transferring, because every device is connected to the single cable. So if A started the transferring, it will go like this. In this way, it will go. Okay. So whatever the devices are connected in this network, everyone will know what is the file it is transferring. If any system got hacked, suppose here the C system have a one vulnerability, someone is attacked this system, and so C will know what is the data is transferring in the network. So whatever the data it is there in the network, it will be stored in the C also. Hacker will get to know some sensitive files, some confidential files. He can able to know. So it's this is a main disadvantage here. And one more disadvantage is if anything happens to this line. Okay, if anything happens, suppose there is a cable damage in the line. So what will happen? Entire network will be collapsed. If anything happened to this cable, the entire network architecture, the topology will be collapsed. So that's why many of the organizations, they won't use the bus topology. Okay. So this is the two disadvantage here. So if anything happens to the cable, so everything like entire topology will be damaged. And anything like if anyone hacked any one of the system which are connected in this bus topology, so they'll get to know what are the things you are sharing in the network. Got it? Anyone have any doubts in this bus topology? Yes. Anyone have any doubts? Or is it clear? Okay. So the next one is ring topology. So the ring topology, whatever the topologies they are finding, is a better version from the above one. So in the bus topology, what are the disadvantage? If anything happens to the cable, what will happen? The entire topology will be collapsed. So that's why they have introduced this ring topology. In the ring topology, so the devices which are connected in a ring shape. Okay. Is A, B, C. Suppose so D is requesting A for some resources, like I want some files from your system. Can you please send that files? So what A will do is it's a bi-direction. So A can send the things from this side. Okay, or otherwise it will send the data from this side. So it is a bi-directional. Whatever wherever this one, it can be shared. So what it will do is, so if anything happens to the cable, okay, so we already said that this one is a better version of this bus topology. The bus topology, what is the disadvantage? If anything happens to the cable, the entire network will be collapsed. Okay, so here, so if anything happens to the network, this line, so what will happen? It will transfer in this side. Got my point? If anything happens here, okay, so this device won't get any data, but the sharing will be done for all these four devices. Okay, but here the disadvantage is if anything happens to the device, okay, if anything happens to the device, the entire network will be collapsed. So what they made a mistake here, so they have removed the access to the cable. Okay, so even if the cable damage, nothing will happen because the data is sharing through the devices. So if suppose if D wants the data, first A will send the data to B will send the data to C will send the data to D. So here it's not in like linked with this cable. So it is linked with the device. If anything, suppose here the C system is damaged, what will happen? So the entire network will be collapsed. If A wants to share the data to D, it's not possible. Okay, because it's a like one device is like failed, the entire network will be collapsed. Got my point? Yes. So that is the only disadvantage here. So if one device has been damaged in the entire network, then everything will be collapsed. Got it? So that's why they introduced a star topology. It's a better version of this ring topology. So here, okay. So it's a system E. Mm, H. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 systems are connected. So it's a better version of this ring topology. So here there is no connection between the cable, there is no connection between the devices. Suppose if A wants to transfer the data to G, so it can only transfer data to G only. So it doesn't share any data with the other devices. So it's not interconnected with the devices. And one more disadvantage here, see, if now A wants to share the data to D. Okay. So here what will happen? It will share the data to B first and C first. If anyone hacker, any hacker hacker this B system, what will happen? So they can easily know what is the data is transferring in the network. Got my point? So two things like confidentiality, lack of confidentiality it is missing, and the device capability. So if one device has been damaged, the entire network will be collapsed. So that's why they introduce the star topology. Many of the organizations, they will use the star topology only. Even big MNCs also, they will use the star topology only. So if E wants to transfer any data to the E, so it can only transfer to the E only, based upon the centralization thing. So it is a centralization one. So here, if you use the hub, so it will transfer the data to all the devices. If you use a switch, it will transfer to a particular device. So we have a two types of network devices are there. Lot of network devices are there, but mainly we are using two things. That is a hub and switch. Hub, switch. If you use the hub, here in the star topology, if you use the hub, what will happen? So it will transfer. So it doesn't have any memory capacity to store their devices MAC addresses. So if anyone, so if A wants to share the data, first it will receive to the centralized hub. So what will happen? It will transfer the data to all the systems which are connected in the network. So it will transfer to the F, G, H, E, D, E, C, B, everything it will share. So that is the major issue with the hub. If you use the hub in the centralized thing, so it will transfer to the all the devices which are connected in the network. But if you use a switch, okay, switch have some memorization capacity. Okay, it will store the all the device MAC addresses. Okay, if A wants to send the data to E, so this one will help you to share. So particularly for the E device, because it have the random, like it have the memory of MAC addresses. So it will store all the MAC addresses which are connected in the network. So if E wants to share the E, it will help to share the to E only. It won't share that information to any other devices which are connected in a network. So this is the enhanced method of the ring topology, and this one is a likely secure one. But the thing is, the only disadvantage is if anything happens to this centralized hub. If anything happens to the centralized hub, network will be collapsed. Got my point? Yes. Anyone have any doubts? Anybody? So if anything happens to the centralized thing, like whatever you are using, hub or switch, so that the communication between the devices will be collapsed. Got it? So that's why it's like, even though everyone is using this star topology only, but they have enhanced something new, that is a mesh topology. Mesh topology. So here, four devices are there. Just assume four devices are connected, and it's A, B, C. So what they did is, so they'll give the connection to all the devices with the one device. See, if A wants to transfer the data to C, they will give the C. So what they will do is, so they will give connection to all the devices from the one device. So now B to C, B to D, D to C. So now you can see, so A have the all the three connections. So A wants to share the data, so it can share the data to C, B, and D. So B wants to share the data, it can share to the A, C, and D. So D wants to share, so you can send the data to the C, B, and A. But the thing is, so what they did, so they are not using any centralized thing. So there's no connection between the cables, no connection between the devices. So whatever you want to share, so you can share directly to the device. Got my point? One second. All right. Sorry. So if any new device has been added to a company, okay, suppose there is a small scale company, so only 4 members are working. So they got some clients, they got some profits, so they have increased the like capacity, employee capacity. They have added a new system in the network. So what will happen? They have to make a new wiring from each and every system from A to E. So it is like a E. Okay, A to E and B to E, C to E, and D to E. If any new system has been added, one more system, it's like a F. So they have to give the new connection from each and every system. So it will take a lot of cabling cost, okay, and a lot of clumsiness in the area, network working network everywhere. So they have to give every connection to the new device. So if it is like it is a 4 to 5 systems, it will be fine. What if the company having the 1,000 systems? So it will take a more cabling system. So more cables are required, will be a cost effective. So that's why many of the organization, not many of the organization. So like 90% of organization, they won't choose the mesh topology. Only some of the organizations will choose for the better security. Okay, so this one no one will hack because the data is sharing between the cables. Okay, so if anything happens to the any network, nothing will happen to the topology. Okay, if any device has been damaged, nothing will happen. If any cable has been damaged, nothing will happen. Got my point? So but 90% of the organization, they won't use this type of topologies. This is a mesh topology. And the last one is hybrid topology. You already know this. What is the meaning of hybrid? So hybrid topology, if you want to, you can add more than 2 to 4. So suppose, so I want to add the bus topology with, okay. So this is the bus topology. And from here, the bus topology too, I'm adding the ring topology. Okay. From the ring topology, I'm adding some what mesh topology or a star topology, whatever you wish, you can add like this. So this is called a hybrid topology. You can add more than 2 topologies in a single topology, that is called a hybrid topology. Got my point? Yes. Anyone have any doubts in the topologies? Anyone? So if it is clear, just to make a note of it, everything. So it's a important concept. I share this one with you. Okay, so I'm sharing this link in the chat box. Everyone, please go through this one and please make a note of it. So just write some diagrams and write something about what you understand. Is it working? Got it? Okay, so exactly I'll give you the 5 minutes of time. So just draw some diagrams roughly you can draw. No need of that much of drawing expert. So write something about these topologies. I'll ask some questions about these topologies. Okay. Is that clear? Anyone have any doubts in these topologies? Let me know. So don't be sit idle if you have any doubts. Is it clear for everyone? Okay. So if it is clear, just go through that link and make a note of it. These diagrams, somewhat important in the interviews if you are applying for the network engineer or a cybersecurity analyst. Yeah, Joshna, I'll give you in the end of the course or like end of the class. After some classes, we will discuss about these type of questions. Okay, so I'll give you some list of questions also, no issues. Is it done, everyone? Okay. Anyone have any doubts on this one? Okay. So the next concept is OSI. Have you heard about this one, OSI? Anyone? Does anyone have any idea about this one? OSI? OSI is an open system interconnection. It's just a model of so how the data is transferring in a internet network. Okay. So it will represent how the data is transferring in the network from your end to your receiver end. Suppose you are sharing some data from your system to your friend system. So how this data is transferring in the internet, it will represent. It's just a basic model only. Okay. So we have a 7 layers are there here. So it's a type of interview question and 7 layers. So how many layers are there in the OSI model? 7 layers. Okay. So first one is the application layer, session layer, presentation layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer. And the last one is physical layer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the 7 layers of a OSI model. Okay. Yeah, Gagan, it's right. Okay. So what is the application layer? So application layer is also known as a user interface. So whatever you are seeing in your system, like, so this is you are seeing, right? So OSI, 7 layers, whatever I wrote here, everything you are seeing, right? So this is called a user interface and this is called application layer. Suppose if you take a WhatsApp as an example, okay? So you are writing hi message, hi, I'm Surya. So this is your message. Okay, what will happen? So whatever you are seeing this one, this is a user interface. Whatever you are seeing this one, it is a user interface. This is the application layer. So the first layer is the application layer. Here you wrote the hi, I'm Surya message. Okay. So here you can able to see this is the application layer. And the session layer is responsible. And the session layer is responsible for why session layer is good? Give me a second. Not session layer. So after that presentation layer, only session layer will be there. Okay. So here you wrote a message called hi, I am Surya. So okay. So the next layer, the presentation layer. So what it will do is, so it will encrypt your data. So the presentation layer is responsible for the data encryption, okay, the data visualization and the data formation. Suppose you have sent a message like hi, I'm Surya. So it should be passed in the internet like this way only. So if the receiver receives in this way only, but instead of this, if a receiver receives Surya, I am hi, is it a right message? No, right? So this data formatting, so how the data will be transferred, so everything will be taken care of by this presentation layer only. Sorry guys, a small network interruption. Okay, so the presentation layer will take care of this data format. So how the data will be transferred to you from sender side to the receiver side. Okay, and the session layer is responsible for making the connection between the sender and receiver. So it will take care of the session cookies. Okay, how long the session will be open. So everything will be taken care by the session layer. And the next thing is the transport layer. So transport layer is like a shipment. So like how this Amazon is working from. So it will take the product from one store and it will package that one and it will deliver to the receiver. Same like as the transport layer. So it will take the packets and it will send these packets to the receiver. And one more thing is the advantage of this transport layer, it will convert the data into segments. Suppose, so hi, I'm Surya, is that right? So this data, it's suppose if you think it is a 16-bit data, so it will divide this one into a two segments, that is a 8-bit data, 8-bit data. So it will divide that thing into a segments, like large boxes you can call it as. So one entire big box, so it will be converted into two small boxes. So again, from transport layer to the network layer, so this network layer is, so what it will do, it will convert these segments into small packets, these segments into small packets. So two segments are there, maybe it will convert into 8 packets. Okay, it's the same length packets, every packet it will be a same length packet. So and one more thing, so here in the network layer, so whatever the packets are converted, it will be assigned IP address on the each and every packet. So what type of IP address they are assigning? So they'll assign the sender IP address and the receiver IP address. So they can confirm. So from the authorized IP address only they came, and it will go. This packet will go to the authorized IP address only. It won't be shared in the other devices. So that's why they will assign the IP address in the packets. And the next thing, from network layer to the, it will goes to the data link layer. So here what will happen? These packets will be converted into frames. So one packet will be converted into small frames. It will be converted. Okay, very little frames. Okay, so like this only it will be converted. And after converting the packets into frames, so the data link layer is responsible for assigning the MAC address. MAC address. So physical address of your system. It will assign the MAC address for each and every frame on a packet. Okay, so what type of MAC address it will assign? Sender MAC address, receiver MAC address. So it will mention the sender MAC address and the receiver MAC address in the data link layer. So on the last one is a physical layer. So in the physical layer, so the data will be converted into a zeros and ones, and it will be transferred into a physical cables to the sender, sorry, receiver. Is that clear? So this is the OSI model, how the data will be transferred. If you send a hi, I'm Surya message, so it will be converted into a zeros and ones from the to the last one. Got it? So it is the sender side only, but in the receiver side, how it will look like? So in the receiver side, the physical layer is the first layer. They will receive these zeros and ones. Okay, first they will receive these zeros and ones. After receiving these zeros and ones, so they will convert these zeros and ones into frames. Okay, so after converting this one in the data link layer, whenever it reaches the data link layer, so the zeros and ones will be converted into the frames, and the data link layer is responsible for checking the MAC addresses. Okay, so it will check so whether these frame are came from the authorized MAC address only or not, because these frames consist the sender MAC address and the receiver MAC address. It will be available on the frame. So it will check both the things in the data link layer. So once it is confirmed, it will goes to the network layer. So in the network layer, so the frames will be converted into the packets. Okay, the frames will be converted into the packets, and the network layer is responsible to check the sender IP address and the receiver IP address. Got my point? So in the network layer, it is responsible to check the sender IP address and the receiver IP address. And next it will go to the network to transport layer. So in the transport layer, the packets will be converted into the segments. Okay, the packets will be converted into the segments from the net transport layer to the session layer. So in the session layer, the segments will be converted into the data. First thing, the segments will be converted into the data, and it will verify the session cookies. So whether these data has come from the authorized cookies or not. So once it is done, it will go to the presentation layer. So if is there anything encrypted in this message, it will decrypt the message, or anything happened to this one, it will format the data. So everything it will do, and the last it will comes to the application layer. So if you send a hi, I am Surya message, so this is the thing will happen from sender to receiver side. So this many layers it has to cross. Got my point? So it will encrypt the data, it will data format the data, so it will convert this data to the frames, from segments, and then packets, then frames. So it will check the MAC address, IP address, everything it will do. So this much, like this many of things will be done in a fraction of seconds, because whenever you're sending a message in the internet, so it will reach your receiver within seconds, right? So every process will be done in a fraction of seconds. Got my point? Okay. And one more thing. So very important question. Okay. Okay. So they will ask you in the interview whether this OSI model is a top-down approach or a bottom-up approach. Top-down approach or a bottom-up approach. If you search for the OSI model in the internet, you will get a first layer. This one is a first layer. Physical layer is a first layer. Everyone will get the physical layer is a first layer. So wherever you search, even I also search for this one, OSI model. See, layer 7 is application layer, and the layer first layer will be the physical layer. So everyone mentioned the first layer is a physical layer, but actually it's like its perspective. So if it is sender side, it will be the top-down approach. First layer will be the application layer. If it is a sender side, the first layer will be the application layer. If it is a receiver side, the first layer will be the physical side. So everyone, like in the internet, so whatever you're searching about cybersecurity in the internet, so 60% will be the wrong data only. I'm sure that 60% will be the wrong data. And one more thing I'll show you. Yeah. So recently they updated this one, 65,535. But earlier they used to show this 65,565. So they have included more than 30 ports extra. Actually, there is only 65,535 ports are there. Sometimes they will show that 65,565 ports. Okay. So if you are doing, like, if you are gathering any information from the internet, so just be sure of that one. Okay. So these are the 7 layers. So first layer, as per the sender perspective, it is a application layer is the first layer. As per the receiver perspective, first layer is the physical layer. Okay. Is it clear? Anyone have any doubts? Yes.
Sir, yeah, like, can you
Sorry.
suggest hello?
Yeah. Satvika, tell me.
Sir, can you suggest the acronym to remember the layers in order? Like any shortcut kind of thing or other?
Uh, it's not there. Like, actually, you should remember
Yeah.
all those things. There is no
Yeah,
acronym.
like it's easy to remember the layers, but sometimes you just tend to mess up the layers up and down. So any acronym kind of thing, like, will be a bit easier to remember in the order, like Steve's pizza something kind of
Uh,
thing.
no, Satvik. Like, if it is anything else like this, I'll let you know in the next session. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So just remember, guys, application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and the physical layer. Okay, so just make a note of it, everything, and let me know. No, not at all, no need. Not things covered in today's class. I'll give you the assignment. So is it clear for everyone? Yes, is it clear, everyone? Okay. So if it is clear, please make a note of it. The today's assignment is policies, organization, and one more thing, cyber loss. So you have to make a report on policies in an organization, security policies are not other policies, security policies. Security policies in an organization and the cyber laws. Importance of the cyber laws. So how many cyber laws are there? So if you done anything wrong, like if you scan a network, what is the cyber law will be applicable? If you post your friends, like it's your friend birthday, so you want to post something about your friend, you have post his photo on the internet like Instagram or Facebook, anything, so that one will be a punishable offense. So without their consent, you did not, like you don't have a right to post their photo in the internet. Got my point? So which law will be applicable if you post anyone's photo in the internet? So you have to gather the information on this cyber laws. And the last thing is information gathering. So for this one, I don't want any report for this information gathering. Just know about what is information gathering. Okay. So in cybersecurity, so what is information gathering? What we'll do in the information gathering? Everything you have to know. And you have to make a report on these two things: security policies in organization and the cyber laws. Got it? Yes. Just respond, guys. Is it clear or not? Yeah. Anyone have any doubts in today's session? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay. So how is your session? So how is you feeling about your today's session? Hope you learned something. Okay. Anyone have any? If no one have any doubts, so we can end up this session. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the joining. Thank you, Sandeep. Yeah. No one has any doubts. If anyone have any doubts, you can ask me, guys. Yeah, Navneet. installation you are doing? Windows 10, right? Please share your screen. Okay. Okay. So on your left side, we have a mission is there, right? Click on that mission. Reset. Hmm. Don't do anything. Nonit, just tell me which Windows 10 you are using. I have shared one Windows Media Creation tool, that one or any other one you are using. Just please unmute yourself. Don't chat.
Hello. Am I audible, sir?
That's why you're not getting it. Okay, sit idle, I'll take care of this one.
Yes.
Have you downloaded this media creation tool? In the last session I have shared with you.
Yes, sir. I have downloaded that.
Okay.
Media creation tool.
So delete this. If it is asking for any yes or no, just click on yes.
Yes, sir.
Have you downloaded this Windows 10 in your system?
Yes, sir. I have downloaded that also.
This one also. Where you install? Where you installed it?
Here in software. Here,
Okay.
Windows.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So those who are not getting this Windows 10 Pro, so they have to download this one. Okay, that is fine, Yes. You're getting it right? Or you having any issues with that one? If you don't have any issues, no problem. Now you try to close this one, this Windows 10 setup.
So Windows. This one, sir.
This one, close it. Navneet, can you please click on this custom installation?
So wrong.
Hello, Navneet, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have the installation procedure, right? Please go
Yes,
through
sir.
that one.
I do.
Okay, if you are getting any dots, you can just send me the screenshot in my to my WhatsApp. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, yeah. So it will take some time, 15 to 20 minutes. It will take. So
Yes,
it
sir.
will automatically install. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Issues. Yeah. Anyone have any issues? Shall we wind up this session? Okay. Mandira, are you there? Hello. A coordinator. Hello, Stu Valley.